Boy, I look pretty washed out.
You're shaking your hair out. Do that again. We're just gonna start every show. There's a lime one. Eating Skittles
Until they're gone.
We're just gonna make people really jealous of all of our Skittles. Anyway, what is up? What's happening? All right, I'm gonna stop so not. So the last one. You're gonna put some more in your mouth apparently. But
happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday, everybody. What is happening? We're just doing a little Skittle snack.
A Skittle snack.
Skittle snack. Snacking on some Skittles. Some limes. What was that?
I was looking at, well, no, Cheryl, sorry. Cheryl asked, is my hair darker today? It's not, but I was just looking.
Did you just go to look at your own hair like this? Like maybe if I turn fast enough, I'll catch it a little bit.
No, I went to look and see that the light is farther away than usual. So I think I feel like I'm in shadow.
Whatever. Anyway, guys, yeah, they're good Skittles. They're real good Skittles. If you want to buy some Skittles, if you go to our last show, there's actually a link down below of fellow reseller Sunny Raisin, who is often in the chat. She's selling them. But anyway, yum 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 yum. What's happening? What's up, Deb Smith? What's up, everybody else? Hello, hello.
Hello.
It is Sunday. We got the link up pretty late today because here's what happened, guys. She gets ready. She usually she takes baths. I do showers, so she takes her bath, and then I wait a little bit to let the hot water come back. So I'm like getting ready after I have my shower, and she's like, I think I'm gonna go to Sabers. And then I think in her mind she had this grand plan that she was gonna go to Sabers alone, and it was gonna be like majestic, and she was gonna get all this men's clothing that she doesn't normally get to get.
Nope, because she
and then I was like,
steals it all.
I don't steal it all. And then I was like, oh, can I come with you? And then she pretty much started crying immediately.
Yes, that's exactly what I did.
Anyway,
I totally started crying.
Anyway, so we ran out and we went to Sabers to pick up some more stuff, have a little more for our haul. I still have a lot of stuff to list, but this one over here has been a listing maniac. How many new items do you think you've listed in this last week?
Over 100.
Yeah, she's listed like over 100 items in the last week. So she's like running out and she needs to get some more stuff. She's going to have to probably go. You're probably going to have to go thrifting in the next couple of days. That time you'll be able to go by yourself because I got a lot to do, guys. We're going to go over our numbers. And let me tell you, I'm going to be making some proclamations today. And I'm going to ask you guys to hold me to it because it's time for me to step it up. But anyway,
she's been slacking, lazy, half broken.
Couple things. I went to, well, I think I talked about it on Friday, but I went to the doctor on Thursday. It's the last time that I don't have to go back again, which is awesome. I got my little glove in, so I'm like,
her Michael Jackson,
my Michael Jackson glove. I bedazzled it with an awesome Boss Up pin. But yeah, so I'm wearing this now instead of a bandage because it's pretty much healed. I just got this little bit. I don't know, it looks kind of gross. My purple gentian violet little scab right there, which is disgusting. I'm sorry I disgust you all, but that's pretty much it. And I did an update on status yesterday, right? Yesterday I did an update on my personal Facebook page, but I made it public so anyone can go look. And there's and I added pictures to my injury recovery photo album so you guys can see. But basically no more bandages. That one's the last little bit to like completely close up. But now I get to wear my sweet glove. So I'd say I'm operating at about 90% right now.
Yeah, I would concur with the 90.
As far as work goes, I'm pretty, like I'm getting in there. So I'm super excited about that. Still getting a little, it's my third eye, it scans the rocks. Pretty much. Real quick, first of all, I'm wearing an awesome new kitty cat t-shirt that I got from our good friend of the show. I always want to say that. Friend of the show, Red Robin Reseller. Robin, she has been sending us awesome gifts, and she sent this is a t-shirt. This is like my spirit animal kitty. See, look, it's like all bandaged up. Meh.
It's Katie, how she was all bandaged.
Yeah. And so I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, see, I think it is the Skittles, Sherry. I think you're right. I think the Skittles are like putting me into turbo drive for healing. Also, we keep forgetting about this, but why don't you talk about that?
Oh yeah, we got a little gift package. We actually had a few cards and things that were sent to our friend Robin on our behalf. Probably happened very quickly in the beginning when Katie first had her accident. We hadn't made our address very public at first, and people just were reaching out and wanted to help. And so they sent a few things to Robin. And one of the really cute things that was sent was from Debbie and Max. They're members of the Boss Group, and they're also in another Lorna's group with me. So if you follow them on Instagram, it's Debbie and Max Go Thrifting. They're really cute. They sent this really cute.
Look how cute.
Look at this little gnome. It's like a
sort of like a little succulent.
It's like a succulent gnome in a mug.
Yep.
It's adorable.
Very, very cute. So thank you to Debbie and Max. I think that's awesome. Anyway, so do you just want to like get right into our numbers?
I think we should. Or did you want to talk about who we met today?
Oh yeah, we were out. So we were out sourcing, and there was this guy that started chatting me up, and he's really cool. Just got into reselling. Like I think he said he just started like a few weeks ago. His name was Vance, but he actually is a professional wrestler here in Vegas, and his name was it's Swade Thompson. So we met him.
Swade Thompson.
Yeah,
that's his wrestling name.
Really, really super nice guy. If you
want to follow him on Instagram, ladies, total eye candy.
Yeah, for sure. He just got started a few weeks ago, so he was chatting me up because he could tell that I was a reseller. Apparently, I was just giving off the vibe, and so we started talking, and he was just really super nice, super cool guy.
It's really nice.
So I'd like to welcome him to the reselling community because I, like Teresa, love the newbies. I think it's always cool when somebody new comes on board.
Oh, and Debbie and Max have a YouTube show as well. I did not know that.
Oh,
Debbie and Max Go Thrifting. Debbie and Max Go Thrifting.
Very cool. But anyway, so we're going to talk about numbers. You know, since my accident, we do our weekly numbers, and I feel like, for a while I was like, man, my numbers haven't really gone down that much. Like yours pretty much right away tanked. Like you went from this crazy high, and then like they just kind of fell out from under you. And, mine were kind of slow. And then it's like, oh, business as usual. It was kind of crazy. I was like, this is kind of weird because I wasn't listing. I mean, I was listing a little bit. Luckily, I had like 50 items that had already been photographed and measured before my accident. So I kind of rationed those out. But I had, several days, like obviously the first, 10 days.
You didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything. And then I was like rationing those out and doing like a few listings a day. I couldn't really photograph. I couldn't do anything. And so for like it's been 42 days, I think, since my accident. So for the last like 40 days, I've barely been listing. I've just barely been doing like a few a day. I haven't even had like a 10 items newly listed in one day, I don't think, since then. Maybe like one day. And so, but my numbers have been kind of okay considering. And then this last week, guys, it's like it all caught up to me, and it's just went. So it's finally caught up with me.
Well, you lazy brat, it's time to actually work for a living.
Well, the thing is, it's like, it's only been the last couple of weeks that I've actually been able to pull all my own stuff and like shipping everything on my own. And then this week, I finally was able to get fully back into the game and do a bunch of photographing and stuff like that. So I think
like 2.5 days of pictures and measuring.
Yeah, I literally now I have 111 items, new items, all photographed, all measured, all weighed. I have everything ready to go. And so my goal for this next week is going to be
get all of those listed by Thursday night.
By the end of Thursday, I'm going to get 111 new items listed. I'm down to like 1732 is the number of items I have listed. Before the accident, I was over 1,800. I'm going to get back to over 1,800, guys. So I will check in with you guys on Wednesday, and we'll see how it's going so far. But I want to like commit to getting all 111 items completely up and listed, over 1,800 listings on eBay by the end of the day, Thursday.
And then you'll still have at least 100 more. So yes, does she still have a dead pile? Yes.
Well, yeah, but that's like probably like over this next week I'll get, because there's some stuff here that's just stuff that needs to be put away too. So I would say
about 2 weeks worth of listing.
Probably about 2 weeks. So
I have about a week.
We'll see. But let's talk about numbers. How about you go first? Because
my numbers are actually starting to pick up.
Yeah. Your numbers are like closer to what mine were last week.
They're closer to what they need to be. I need to be somewhere around 2,000 to 2,500 a week gross. That's my goal. And I'm just under 2,000. So I didn't sell a lot, but what I did sell was good quality and pretty good average ticket price.
See,
so
Lorna says just stay off social media and you can do it. Honestly,
she doesn't spend much time.
I don't
on
have a
social
problem
media.
with
That's
that.
me.
Yeah.
I'm on way more than she is.
Yep. All right.
Okay. So you'll see, like, if you follow Katie on a personal level on Facebook, the only thing she ever posts is the show.
Well, and even in the boss group, it's like I do my daily, the 2 or 2 things, and I'll answer a couple of questions, but for the most part, I don't really do a lot. I don't have time. So yeah, go ahead.
I spend a lot more time on social media than she does. And even that, I don't do as much as I should, because again, I'm in Lorna's social media Facebook group, which is a much smaller group that it's just for social media sharing and things like that. And I suck at it. I'm the worst member in the group, bar none. I don't put nearly enough time into it. I'm terrible. I'm horrible.
Horrible.
All right. So for the end of this week, I have, can we see? Okay. So I have 39 eBay sales.
Move it over a little bit so that they can see the whole page.
0 Etsy sales. So it was a total of 39 items sold for $1,961.88.
There you go.
Etsy again, nothing. So total sales for the last 7 days, $1,961.88. Shipping, my shipping is a little high. Again, we know I sell a lot of hard goods, and I do free shipping. So my shipping was $336. Promoted listing fees of $54 and change, almost $55. Total fees, including promoted listing fees and eBay fees, right around $285. So it's eBay fees, the final value fees, PayPal fees, and promoted listing fees all together. And again, I don't do it item by item, but that's darn close. I do the 12% across the board. So sometimes it's a little bit higher, sometimes a little lower. So my cost of goods is low as usual, $148 for cost of goods. But my total net is around $1,195. So just under $1,200 for the week, which is pretty good. I like it to be closer to $1,500 net per week. And then my average sale price, ASP is average sale price. So it's just about $50.
Nice. So, not too shabby. Now, keep in mind, that's close to what my numbers were last week as far as the net goes. Whew, it's bad, guys. My numbers for this whole last week are really a bad weekend for me normally. Like if this was my weekend sales, it would be bad.
Right.
I literally have I currently have 3 items to ship out tomorrow.
For 3 days, the last 3 days, Friday,
and
Saturday,
two of those sold yesterday, like right after I did my shipping on yesterday morning, or not Friday morning. 2 of them sold early in the day, so I'm like, oh, having a good start to the day, and then it was like nothing.
Crickets.
And then last night I sold a T-shirt for $26.99. So I literally, like, my sales for yesterday were like $27. So
that's bad. I don't know how we can teach people if this is what your sales were. Kidding.
The reality is, see, that's what, listen, guys, this is what this is all about, us doing these weekly numbers, is that sometimes things are not going to go well, and that's totally fine. But that's part of being transparent. It's like, I could say, you know, when we show you like our sales highlights, when we go through and show you like the stuff that we sold this last week, if you just looked at my sale highlights, you'd be like, wow, she sells stuff for really high prices and she does a really good job. Because my sales for the week, like the things I did sell, were really good items, and I got good prices for them. But once you add everything up, it's like, oh, that's actually pretty terrible. So I don't know. I think it's important. I think that's what I like about us doing this weekly, is that we're letting you guys know the reality of being a reseller, what happens when things get in the way in life, and you can't list as much, and there's issues around that, and it's going to affect your sales. So here we go. So for my week, look at this, guys. I literally sold 14 items on eBay in the last week.
That's bad.
2 on Etsy. So total outgoing orders, 16 items. My eBay gross sales, not even $1,000. So $812.36. My Etsy is $83.98. So my total gross sales for the week, $896.34. And then we get to shipping. So I guess on the upside, you know, my shipping costs are down $156.83. My promoted listing fees.
That's pretty high.
Now that's pretty high, but you want to know why? Because I'm doing promoted listings on Etsy, and I only sold two items, but I'm still spending an average of $9 a day on promoted listings on Etsy. But I'm going to keep doing it. Just because it's a bad week, you know, I can't get away from it. So my total fee is about $180.58. My COGS super low because I didn't sell much, so $87. And so look at that net. My net is under $500. Again, like a decent weekend for me, my net's going to be over 600. My net here is $471.93. That is, I don't think I've had a week that low in a couple of years since I very first started. So that is crazy, crazy, crazy low for me. My average sale price, really good, $56.02. So, you know, like I said, I really think this has to do with, you know, everything's catching up with me. And luckily this week I'm like back. I feel like I'm close to being back to 100% of how I normally operate. I've got all this stuff to list, but this just tells me like I'm going to get those 111 items listed. I'll check in with you guys on Wednesday, and then Friday I'll be able to say like if I was able to achieve that. But I want to get everything listed that I took all the pictures and measurements and everything for over the last couple of days. When I get all up, I need to get this stuff working for me. That's why I don't like having death piles. It's like I got stuff sitting here that should be making money, and it's not, because it's not out there for people to see. For you yet. And I've got some amazing stuff. I got some really, really cool stuff that's just been sitting there that could have sold by now. So I got to get back to work on it. Yeah, I'm going to eat cheese sandwiches this week.
It's not going to sell if it's not listed.
Listen, Karen, luckily, Allison, Big Drift Thrift, and Casey, they sent us like 5 pounds of cheese a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, hey.
So we are good for cheese. Like we might need to go buy some like
stale bread,
day old like 79-cent bread
and make some cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, make some sandwiches with that cheese. But man,
Scott, I have a death garage. He says.
Yeah. Yeah. No, and I get it. So Floor Forest says your worst week would be my dream. I totally get it. But this is, this is what we do for a full-time living. We have bills to pay, and yeah, and I can't live on, $400 or $500 a week net. Because that, yeah, that's net, but out of that net, we have to pay, rent. We got to pay all the bills. We got to pay for phone, all the things that, car insurance, car payment, everything. Like when we talk about the net, that's not like, okay, that's not like disposable income spending money. That's like, we got to pay bills out of that. And I guarantee you that $400, $400 or $500, $2,000 a month net, I mean, that's not enough to pay my bills. So
yeah, no.
Definitely.
For sure.
Anyway, so that's what we have for our numbers. But again, guys, I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit those 111 things.
Yeah,
listed.
I mean, I generally need to be around 2,000 to 2,500 gross, and my net is a little bit low this week because my shipping was pretty high. So I need to be about 1,500 to 1,800 net a week is where I like to be, and I'm around 1,200, so I'm still low.
Thrifter, yeah. Fire Festival sandwiches. I just watched both of those documentaries. They have one on Netflix, and they have one on Hulu as well about the Fire Festival. Definitely Fire Festival sandwiches, just bread and cheese. Although I will say we have way better cheese than the Fire Festival did, because Allison sent us some really yummy cheese. So it won't be too bad. And yeah, I totally think we should just blame it all on Ja Rule. I'm pretty sure it's
apparently I need to watch these you
do. They're really good. And if you haven't watched, definitely watch both of them, because they definitely give you a little bit of different view of it, but it's pretty interesting. Anyway, and I think it's interesting for those of us who do stuff like YouTube and Instagram and stuff like that, because it really talks about like the whole influencer thing, and like what influencers can achieve, and the bad parts about that as well, and how sometimes people can be misled by what they see on social media. So
Karen, I've had some death piles so long the value actually increased. It went from new to vintage. Is that how long?
Lorna and her poor person pickle and mustard sandwiches.
All right, so we want to get into our solds?
Oh yes. Let's do our solds now. I'm like, what? I was like ready to go right to the haul, but I guess we got some solds to share with you guys. Yeah. So once you get over my terrible numbers, I did have some really cool sales this week. Just not a lot of them, but
I didn't have a ton either. I mean, in the height
you had some great sales.
I had some great sales, but in the height of December, I was shipping out 80 to 100 orders a week. 30. What did I have? 39. 39 is pretty pathetic. So yeah.
All right, so we are going. Scott says my VCR death piles are increasing in value. Yeah, there's certain things, but yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and do a screen share here, and let's see. Hold on a second. What do I got? Neat. Screen share, screen share. All right, so we're gonna start with you.
Okay, so I showed these. I may have showed these in a haul.
I feel like you didn't.
I don't know if I did or not. But in any case, these are, okay, anybody that is my age or older is going to remember these, right? So these are from the 70s. These were the sample cases that Avon sellers used to have about all the little different lipsticks.
I remember these.
I know because I used to play with them at my grandmother's house when I was a little girl. I bought these for $2 at an estate sale. They were listed for maybe 5 days.
Yeah, not very long.
And I took an offer for $55, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And they were the highest price that sold in the last 90 days.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not that it was a huge dollar amount, but the ROI was really big. And these are the type of things that I love to buy at estate sales. I love to buy vintage cosmetics, vintage perfumes, vintage whatever. You know what, Karen, they could have been gummy. I didn't actually open up every single one. It's more for people to look at for the colors and for props than it is that they're actually going to wear them.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's
wearing
a hard time 40-year-old lipstick.
I have a hard time believing somebody is like, I'm going to get these and it's going to be awesome and I'm going to wear them out.
Yeah, I don't think people are actually wearing them. I think people buy them to use as props or they collect them for some reason.
Yeah.
So I'm not thinking it's like I wouldn't wear them. That's kind of gross.
Susan just busted out a $4.99 super chat. She says, I'll share some of my earnings. Thanks for all the great videos. Susan, I can get like 2 whole tacos with that. And you know how I love my tacos.
Hey.
I might have to do that because cheese sandwiches, you know, as delicious as the cheese is, I can't do it every day.
Are you going to sing for her?
Well, how about this? I will save my super chat song for after we're done with the screen share.
Oh.
Because you got to be able to see it in all its glory.
Oh, okay.
Mostly your reactions.
They do. Key Lime Kisses says they have that strange Play-Doh smell to them. They do.
Mm-hmm.
They smell a little bit weird.
Yeah. 360 throwback. Do you two only do eBay and Etsy? Yeah, that's pretty much all we sell on. So, all right. Next one is mine. Now, I think this is interesting because last week I sold on Etsy a Jeff Gordon vintage sweatshirt for $69.99. And then I went ahead this week and sold, and I think it was Pam who made kind of a joking comment in the thing, like the
people still like him. Yeah.
People still like him. So I sold this Jeff Gordon all over print t-shirt. And I actually took the guy offered 50, but then he had a message that said, you know, what's the lowest you'll take for this? And I came back and I said 70 and he accepted. So I actually got $70 for this t-shirt. Now, not all Jeff Gordon stuff is going for $70, so don't assume that. But this particular one is vintage, made in the USA. It also is the all-over print, and that stuff tends to go for a little bit higher price points. So it really does depend on what it is. But this particular T-shirt, $70, guys. So there's definitely some NASCAR stuff that does really well when you're talking about vintage stuff. All right, so next one for you.
I did show these in a haul, I believe. I think I paid up for these. I paid about $20 for these. I found them at a Sabers. They are new without box. And I accepted an offer yesterday or the day before yesterday for these for $150. They're going out. They've got some natural, you know, inclusions or scratches on the leather, which is normal. Obviously it's shown, but they're not worn.
Yeah,
there are some really good Doc Martens. They don't make that
particular one
anymore.
Martens.
I actually, if these were my size, I would have kept them because I love them.
Mm-hmm. They're really cool shoes.
They're a little too small for me, but
yeah.
$150.
Nice.
20 to 150. I was pretty happy with that.
Nice. All right. I sold this jersey. I got sold it for the sale price here, $85.39. I don't sell a lot of jerseys. I don't pick up a lot of jerseys. But this particular one was one of these hardwood classics, one of the Mitchell and Ness kind of throwback jerseys.
They're so great.
Tend to do really well. I've had this for a while, but $85. Sweet.
Karen, I never find Doc Martens either. It's very rare that I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, next one for you.
I always say don't sleep on the board games. I'm not interested.
That'd be very uncomfortable.
Well, yeah, it would be. I definitely always look at the board games. I will sell board games for $20, $25 for sure because they're, you know, you can pick them up at garage sales and thrift stores for $1. And I'm not going to say no to $25 out of $1, but a lot of them, they can sell really well. I do believe I showed this in a haul several months ago. It did take a little while to sell. It took longer than I expected, but it did sell. I paid maybe $2 or $3 for it at Sabers. It sold for the sale price you see, 67 and change. Even in the condition it was in, it was complete, but the box was in, you know, kind of crappy condition. So yeah, Scott says you can make money on Monopoly. Yes, you can. He should know. So I sold it for $67. It did sell to California, even though I have free shipping on it. So the shipping was $8, which is great. If it had gone across the country, it would have cost a bit more.
Yeah. And Scott also said no keeping $150 boots. I will say when it comes to Doc Marten boots, though, if there was a pair that came in, like I have some right now that I wear, like when I usually wear like every day. If a pair came in that I wanted, I'd keep them. They were my size. That's the one thing I would keep, some Doc Marten boots.
I don't keep a ton of stuff. I'm like you, Scott. If I buy something and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to sell for $75 but I love it. Yeah, I'll still sell it.
Yeah.
I'm too cheap. I went to clean out my closet over the last couple of weeks just to get rid of my old crap that I wanted to get rid of. And I don't have a single damn thing in there that I want to sell because I buy all cheap no-name stuff for myself.
Shoes are the one thing that I will spend some money on as far as clothing goes. All right. So next one for me. Now, I almost never thrift shoes, but these were actually new. A lot of the Sabers, they'll hold like the higher value stuff or what they think is the higher value stuff back behind the counter. And this pair of Nikes were at one of the Sabers that we went to. I think I might have shown it in a haul. Anyway, I got the full $97.99 for them. The interesting thing about these is I think about 2 weeks ago, somebody offered me $80 and they were, I don't remember what country they were in, but it was an international sale. And so $80, I'm like, well, they're going to pay shipping and I'm going to make some money off of that shipping because of pirate ship. So I accepted the $80 offer and then they didn't pay for like a week. And so then I sent out a payment reminder and then they finally get back to me and they're like, hey, I'm going to be traveling to the US in about a month. How about I just have them shipped there? And I was like, no, not going to work because I mean, I accepted the $80 based on the fact that I was going to be shipping it out of the country. And I'm like, I can go ahead and cancel your sale and I'll relist them. And once you're here, if they're still available, you can buy them. And so we went ahead and he was like, okay, fine. So I canceled it. And I actually ended up doing a sell similar and just, you know, putting them back up. And they literally sold like 2 days later for the full price. I mean, they went domestically, but, yeah.
So Susan asked, what's the highest amount you would pick up Doc Martens up for at a thrift store? Depends. Probably that last pair that I just showed. I mean, I paid 20. I think it was 20. I think they were marked for 25 and I got them on a 25% off day. So I think I paid around $20 for them. It depends. Those I paid 20 for because I knew that they were very good sellers. I wouldn't pay 20 for a pair of Docs that I'm going to sell for 50. Yeah. It depends. If they're boots, I would probably go 20 to 25 because boots don't really lose their value. Even the really good broken in ones, you're going to get 75 for.
Yeah. I think I paid like $20 for these and they were at Sabers, but here, you know, for those of you that don't know, you can actually, Nike and Adidas especially are super easy to look up. This right here, this 333824, that actually is the type of shoe, like the style of shoe. And then the 022 is the colorway. And so it's really easy to look up this number and find out what exactly the shoe is. And you can see the history of sales. It's really easy to get comps on it.
You have the year.
So there's plenty. You got the UPC code here. You've got everything. And so it's really, really easy to get comps and look it up and be like, oh, there's no reason to buy this, or hey, I think this one will sell.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, some stuff, you know, I'm willing to pay up for sure.
Because let me tell you, there are a lot of Nikes and Adidas and stuff like that. There's so many that get put out every year, and a lot of them just aren't really worth anything as far as resale goes. So, all right, next one for you.
Okay, so these I picked up at our little honey hole at the St. Jude's thrift shop. I paid maybe $5 for them. And these were almost new.
I mean, they still have like the little size.
They have the size tags in them on the bottom. They don't have any wear. But you can tell that they've probably tried them on. So, and that's what I put in. They've been tried on. I mean, they look practically new.
Yeah.
You know, the bottom is not dirty. That's the color pattern on the sole. Anyway, so I paid about $5 for them. They sold for what you see there, $77.97. Toms are really lightweight. Those fit very easily into a padded flat rate mailer for $7, just under $6.90.
Yeah, Key Lime Kisses says I paid 60 for a pair and flipped them for double plus shipping. $60 is $60. Yeah, and the thing with shoes is they're super easy to photograph. They're super quick to list. I think they're super easy to ship. So you're really cutting down. Like there's not a whole lot of time invested in flipping a pair of shoes. And so if you know that it's something that can sell and you have the capital to like throw down $60, that's gonna, you know, to sit for however long it's gonna take to sell them.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
sure.
it's totally worth it. Now, am I gonna spend $60 on something I don't know if it's gonna sell or not? And it's gonna involve like a lot of labor and, you know, then no, but yeah, it just depends. All right, so my next one is my little tiny shoes. I got tiny shoes. My puffy little shoe. Woo, 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 woo,
you just like
woo,
making up a song?
No, that song actually is Presidents of the United States. You guys remember that band?
I do love that band.
And I love that song. But anyway, so these are these tiny little shoes. I showed them in a haul, I believe. I've talked about them. I still actually need to update my quantity because I actually have 2 left. I've sold 2 pairs. Well, now I've sold 3. All of these have gone internationally. I bought these before Christmas. They were like, I just randomly found them by doing some other search online. And they were $25 kind of on clearance on the Adidas website. And so I bought, you know, I ended up buying like 5 pairs, I think. Something like that. Yeah, 5 pairs. And so I bought for $25 a piece. I've sold the other 2. I think I sold all of them for 80. So this one I accepted an offer for 80. Again, going overseas. So they're not super fast movers, but they're kind of weird because it's like, who's searching for miniature shoes? You know, it's not exactly, it's kind of a weird thing for people to find. So far, like I said, I've sold them all for $80 a piece, and then they're going internationally. So they're getting, the shipping's getting paid for. So $25 up to 80. Not too bad when I'm not paying the shipping, and I'm making a little bit of money on the shipping itself because of Pirate Ship's simple export rate program. So I just think they're adorable. They're just the tiniest little shoes.
They are cute.
Yep.
They look like the size of a keychain.
Yeah, they're adorable, and they're all handmade. They're really cool. All right, next one for you. Now this was a fast flip.
Yep. So Katie,
what'd you do with this? Did you turn and burn it?
I turn and burn.
You turn and burn. Turn and burn, everybody. All right.
Okay, so I picked this up at the estate sale we went to, what, 2 weeks ago?
It's in our last sourcing video that we did.
Yeah, I paid $5 for it. I listed it the other night, and it rolled into, I think I listed it Thursday. It rolled into a 22% off sale I have going in my store, and it sold for $155.96 Friday morning.
Crazy.
So it did sell. I do suggest people keep VHS tapes and Betamax tapes and cassette tapes and things like that. Keep those things on hand so you can test them. When I say that it's tested and works, that means that I have plugged it in. I have put the Betamax in it. I've pressed play, fast forward, stop, rewind, all that kind of stuff. I don't necessarily hook them up to my TV and see that the video plays, but as long as all of the components are working, I sell it as working. If for some reason it gets to somebody's house and they tell me it's not, then I'm happy to take a return. But I'm not spending 4 hours testing something. Just, you know. So I paid $5. It is a brick. I will tell you, it weighed 35 freaking pounds. No, 28 pounds.
And it cost what, $30 to ship?
It cost me $30 to ship because of course it sold to the East Coast.
And you said, but that was FedEx.
FedEx
right?
home delivery.
Yeah, FedEx home delivery, which is the best when you're talking about really heavy items like this that are big.
So it did cost me a bit. So I mean, I still net what, $110 or so.
I mean, you basically were in $35, and then you had to pay fees and everything, but you still made $100 on it. So
yeah, I made $100 in about 12 hours on it.
Right, not too shabby. All right,
and I keep boxes specifically to ship stereo and VCR and components in. So they're the 18 by 15 by 8 boxes or something along that line. I have a case of those. In this case, in this case, it did not work because this thing is flipping huge, but I did happen to have a really good one.
Yeah. All right. So this next one, rope and resellers. I got burned on VCR. I didn't check on TV because of tracking issues. I mean, it's kind of one of those things like she said, like she does she tests it and everything. And for the most part, that's enough. But if you're selling a lot of electronics over time, like it saves hours and hours and hours. And then once every in a blue moon, you have one that ends up not being in total top condition. And some of that stuff you might not even see in the 5 minutes that you test it. It might be like later on in the tape, or who knows.
It's worth it. It's worth it for me for the risk. And yeah, bearded picker, exactly, Scott. 18 by 14 by 8. That's the size of the box that I use.
If only there was a box resizing video.
I know. Speaking of, if you're in our boss Facebook group, Scott, the bearded picker, posted one that he did teaching me how to use it. I have to watch it this weekend. I haven't yet. I'm going to watch it this afternoon when we're done.
All right, so this is a Harley Davidson vintage 80s tank top, and this is actually dead stock. It was still had the tag attached to it. I sold it for $104.99, you guys. It did take a little while. I had it priced super high. Now, this is not a 3D emblem. It's actually this particular one is speed limit 70. You can see it right on the shirt, printed into the graphic on the shirt itself. And then the tag here, speed limit 70. So it's kind of like how 3D Emblem was like, I guess, I mean, it's basically like the company that was actually printing the shirts. And maybe they did the graphics too. I don't really know exactly. Speed limit 70 is just another company like that. And when I got these, I had never even heard of them, but I researched it and saw that some of them had gone for a lot. So I just priced them really high. And I still have one other one. It was like randomly I found 2 of these within like the same week at separate places. So
Jill has a question.
Yes.
Stereo components and these type of components go for more on Amazon. I am ungated there in electronics. I have not sold any on Amazon. I probably could, but Amazon charges so much more in fees that it ends up being about a wash.
People complain about eBay with fees, but Amazon's got really high fees. And especially for selling one-offs, it can be it's a little bit more difficult.
Like 30% or something. It's really high and just not really worth it.
Yeah, and you definitely have a much higher return rate there. Like people are much more likely to return things on Amazon than they are on eBay.
I do cross post a lot of my media on Amazon, and occasionally I'll sell something there.
And yes, I did get $105 for a Harley tank top, bitches. And I actually have one other one, different graphic, but I do have another one that's listed. So hopefully that sells sometime soon. All right, next one for you.
This one did take me a couple of months to sell, but in any case, this is another military type of jacket. So I took an offer for this. I sold it for $120. I have about $15 into it. It's this really nice. I know it looks like the photos are blurry. They're really not. That's the color. It's that grayish green wool. It's a very muted color. So I took an offer, like I said, for $120. I have $15 in it, and it shipped to California. So it's probably going to some type of prop.
Very cool.
Department.
Jill was saying you get your money slower too with higher price stuff. Yeah, you know what? We've talked about this before, but it's all about what kind of selling model you want to use. And for both of us, we happen to be on the same page about it. We would rather sell things for higher prices at a slower rate because, I totally get the whole idea that like the faster you sell something, the faster that you can turn that money into other sales because you can go out and reinvest it and reinvest it and reinvest it. So I totally understand that concept. Just for me, I don't like the model of having to source, photograph, list, ship high volumes of one-off items because, man, you really have to hustle if you want to do that with lower prices. I like the adventure of finding treasure and selling it for higher amounts. So I'm okay with just selling a much lower.
She meant Amazon gives you your money slower.
Oh, okay, Jill. Well, you know what? I still stand by my words, Jill. Okay, I still stand by those words. They may not be have anything to do with what you were saying, but it's still something.
Karen, I picked up this jacket at a Sabers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Swedish military jacket was at a Sabers. I'm sure someone cleared out their closet, and it was before this Marie Kondo. Although her book is something like came out in like 2010, so it's not like the book is anything new. It's just the Netflix series is.
What up? Binky's in the house. Binky is my sister, and she came to visit last April and was on some of our videos. And we are going to be back in Oregon February 21st through the 26th, and we're going to be going to a meetup on the 23rd. I'm pretty positive that we are going to
drag Binks.
We're going to drink the Binkster with us. So if any of you guys are going to be coming to that meetup, you'll get to meet the infamous Binky Crawford Silverberg. Dun dun dun! All right,
I think it's Silverberg Crawford actually.
No, Zilverberg is a more important name, so we would do that one last. All right. Next one for me. Let's talk about Champion reverse weave sweatshirts. That was kind of like a funky little song I had going there. Anyway, Champion reverse weave sweatshirts. These were super popular well, I mean, I think they've been around for a long time, like decades. I think they had them in the 70s.
They were real popular in the 90s, though. When I was in high school, early 90s, you were the shit if you had these.
I mean, I think these, multiple I don't know the history, but I think they go all the way back to like the 50s or maybe even earlier. I don't really know. They were super old. But anyway, this particular one's from the 90s. But the reason it's called reverse weave, as you can see right here, if you can see in this picture, the weave actually goes horizontally here. And then they have like these little side panels and they go vertically, and it has to do with like helping with them not get, I guess, the way they shrink up or stretch or whatever. I don't know, but they're like these really nice heavy duty sweatshirts.
They're very well made.
They have, like, you can see the cuff is longer here. They're just really, really well made. And so this particular one's from the 90s. They do really well. This one I took an offer for $45. I've had it for a little while. The ones that do really well are like the heather gray. That's like a really popular color for like 90s and now for people who like the throwback stuff. But this is not the only Champion reverse weave sweatshirt I sold this week, man. I sold this one for $45, which is not too bad. I'd probably only paid a few bucks for it.
They fit into a padded flat rate envelope.
Oh yeah, I put this to pad flat rate. So
tuck and roll.
Yep. Ooh, another one. Tuck and roll. Turn and burn. We're gonna turn and burn these sales, and we're gonna tuck and roll them in the padded flat rate mailer and ship it all the way across the United States for a low, low price of $6.90. But now it's even higher because the post office is taking more of our money. Tuck and roll. Turn and burn. You like that? What's that guy giggling? Anyway.
Yeah, Lisa, Sabers, she's talking about it's a cashback thing if you have Bank of America. It actually, I looked into that. It was only up to like $5 per transaction or something like that. So
yeah.
Wasn't anything special.
All right, so let's go to the next one for you. Ugh, she's looking at me weird.
I know, right?
Ugh.
So this sold last Sunday during our show, actually. It sold for the sale price that you see there. I did have this listed for probably a good 9 or 10 months. I paid $10 for it. And it sold for $187.46. It's an early.
So guys, look, this is the back of her head. Let's get a little bit closer.
Because it's the hair. The hair looks like it was cut. That's why I have it there. All right, weirdo.
Whoa, that was inappropriate. What does it say right there?
Pleasant company.
Pleasant company. All right, cool. Justin Packman says, I see a new merch shirt coming soon. Turn and burn, tuck and roll. All right. Anything else to say about this?
No.
All right.
Nope.
Okay, so we're going over. Now, you didn't sell anything on Etsy. I sold a whole 2 things on Etsy, guys. Actually, I think this one I sold last week, but I sold it like right after the show, so I wanted to share with you guys. So there were 2 other items that I sold after this on Etsy. But this one I wanted to show. This is Nebraska corn huskers. I swear, the husker stuff sells really well. I don't know. I'm not like a huge sportsing person. I like to play sports. I played a lot of sports growing up, but I don't really watch a lot. And so, I don't really know. But it seems like Nebraska stuff sells really well. Like maybe they have a really good fan base that likes to buy their stuff. Anyway, so I have this another Champion reverse weave right here, guys. And this one, so you can see again how like the sleeves are like a little bit longer than normal.
Yeah, they roll up. The cuffs, you fold them up.
Yeah, and then it's got, so you see, so it's got the reverse weave thing going on. But anyway, I sold this, and again, it's still not showing the prices anymore. I don't know what the deal is with that. So I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do a little flipper tools and look at Etsy sold price. So this is just for you guys. I like to do this just to help you guys see like how you can do it if you are trying to do research. So we'll go ahead and look at that. $59.99. I don't charge shipping, so there was no plus shipping, but I sold it for $60. So not too bad for a vintage sweatshirt. Yeah, anything with huskers on it, I do really well. So I love it. And I feel like we find husker stuff here all the time.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. We had a lot of people that moved from Nebraska to
like I totally
Las
get like
Vegas,
we find a lot of like 49ers stuff, and we find a lot of Chargers stuff. But like that makes sense to me because it's California. But I'm like, Nebraska Huskers, it just seems like a weird thing that we find all the time in Vegas. So yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and the next one for you. This is an awesome sale.
Yeah, I mean, if you're following me on Instagram, you did see this earlier in the week. But I sold this. That's inappropriate. I probably should have put pants on him.
Yo, come on, come on.
He needs pants.
Rude. You can do it like, was it Wade that puts, see, Wade puts underwear on his. I feel like that kind of draws more attention to the fact that they're naked, but that's just me. Anyway,
I took an offer for this for $200. They actually offered me $150. I was tempted to take the $150 because I paid about $20. Again, I'm about $20 into this. I found this at Sabers. It was listed for a month, maybe less than a month, maybe 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
I listed it after Katie's accident. So I paid $15, maybe $20 for it. And it sold for $200. He offered me $150. I countered back with $200 and he took it. So
that was awesome. It's really cool.
It's a really cool jacket. I was able to actually, I mean, the good thing about Alpha Industries is a great brand. We talk about it frequently. Vintage Alpha Industries is really, really good and sells really well. It's an excellent, well-made jacket.
Well, the thing with Alpha Industries is they were making like actual, military jackets and stuff like that. And so, and then at some point, I don't know the exact history of it, but at some point, I think like in the 70s, maybe, or 80s, they started, they were making them commercially available. And so now it's like you can buy, Alpha Industries stuff, at the store, but it's still the same quality. It's still like a really like good, heavy bomber jackets and parkas and stuff like that. Not like a lot of the stuff now that's like, like bombers are super popular, but you get those ones that are super thin ones.
Yeah.
So
this one was kind of cool because I really liked, for a couple of reasons. Obviously Alpha Industries has the tag inside that you can look up the model. You can look at the year. The year's usually printed on it when it's the military one. So that's really cool. You can tell that was, United States Air Force. You can tell what year. What I really liked about it is that, this guy actually had a name tag in it.
Yep.
And that said, that was a little leather name tag that had
Virgil Marcus.
I looked him up. He was a guy that lived in Las Vegas. We do have an Air Force base here. He's probably dead. I don't know, but
rude.
Hey, it was from the 60s and he was a fighter pilot. He's
rude.
Pretty old. Anyway, so I thought it was really cool.
Yeah. I wanted to say something about the size. So this one, it's a size small, real small, from the 60s, real small. People talk about like, what sizes you should buy, different things. And I'm going to say, because we both source and sell higher priced items, generally the size never plays into it. Now, granted, yes, smaller sizes do tend to take a little longer. Larger sizes that more people wear are usually going to sell a little bit more quickly. But if it's something that's of value, that has resale value, it doesn't matter if it's a small or a 3XL. We're going to buy it and we're going to sell it. Now, if it's something where I'm kind of on the fence about it, like, for instance, Diamond Supply Company, I'm kind of over it. They're mid-level streetwear. I don't really pick it up anymore. But if I like come across like a 4XL t-shirt new with tags, which for some reason I keep finding like the 4XL, 5XL, I'll grab those just because I grab them because they're like a really big t-shirt and like I know I can sell those quickly. So, but for the most part, I'll buy anything. It doesn't really matter what size it is.
Are there 2 Air Force bases in Las Vegas? I didn't know that. I only know about Nellis. Nellis being,
I guess Andy would know.
Yeah. Nellis being the biggest one.
Okay, so then my last thing I wanted to show is this Señor Frog's Cigars jacket. Let's see what it sold for, guys. Let's see. Does anybody have a guess of what this sold for? So let me tell you, I bought this. Sometimes when I'm out, I'm like, I'll buy anything. I'll be like, ooh, this is kind of cool. I'm going to buy this. I can resell this. And then sometimes I'll have like a little bit of regret and be like, is this really going to sell? Is this really worth picking up? Because something like this where it's like the whole, it's got the huge thing on the back of like the Señor Frogs.
So cheesy.
Yeah. So yeah. See, now you guys are making me look bad because I'm telling you, it's not even close to that. They're like, wouldn't that be awesome? I'd be like, I sold this for 150. You guys, I would like crap my pants right now if I sold for that much. I promise I did not sell for that much. But I did sell it for $47.99, which I'm telling you, for something like this,
nobody was even close.
Yeah, no, it's not Levi's. It's not, it's not like, Polo Ralph Lauren or anything like that. But I'm actually surprised it didn't take longer to sell. And it was one of those things where I had a little bit of regret. Okay, I'm going to pop out of here. Oh, don't stop broadcasting. I had a little regret about picking it up because I was like, oh, that might have been a mistake.
I wouldn't have picked up anything senior frauds ever.
I didn't pay more than like $5 for it. But I was really happy that it sold so quickly. So yeah, 48
DJ
bucks.
asked something about a specific jacket. I really couldn't tell you what to price it for without photos. If you're in our Facebook group, just go ahead and post some photos about it. The Alpha Industry jacket. Heavy coat with anchors on the buttons. Anchors on the buttons probably means it was made from the Navy or the Coast Guard. But
yeah, if
it's military at all, or if it was just remade for the general public, it depends. I can't tell by your description right there.
Yeah, if you're in the group, do a post, or you can email us. Both of our emails are down below. Just make sure you give us pictures, but we need to see the tags too. We need to see like close up of the tags. That's super important. So let's see. First of all, we're not giving away our Rally Roots hats. Like, we each have one and we're keeping them, okay?
We wear ours. I won mine through one of their contests, actually. I won both of ours through one of their contests.
It's like really fuzzy. Yeah. Sometimes that helps.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit fuzzy. I need to get a camera. A little bit fuzzy. Anyway. All right, so Jimmy boy,
He's on it.
You're right. We got a super chat song that I gotta bust out right now. Okay, here's the super chat song. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Super chat, she's super chatty, yow. That's pretty good, right?
That was creepy.
That was kind of creepy.
Kind of creepy.
Yeah, so show close up of the buttons too, so we can see that. So we can see that there. All right, so we did. Ooh, you guys, I sold something. I wouldn't normally say anything, but it's been a rough week. I literally have 3 items to ship out tomorrow, and now I have 4, and I can't believe it. And it's probably gonna be something that sold for $27.99.
I'm sorry, dear.
Listen, $27.99.
Put your phone down.
No, I can't. I'm busy. I'm working. Ooh, I sold that. Okay.
Ridiculous. It is a creepy gloved hand. Thank you, Dana. It's creepy.
It's to protect this. You want me to just walk around with that all day? Anyway, it's protecting that, because otherwise I'm going to bust it open every 5 minutes and stuff. God, you're so judgmental. Yeah. Now I'm like very, very insecure. Anyway, I didn't do much thrifting this week, but we did go to Sabers this morning. And didn't we go to a Sabers like earlier in the week for some reason? I don't remember what day that was or why.
I don't know. We just did. We went to Sabers twice this week, and I went to an estate sale the other day.
Yeah, and I did not go with her, and she did find something I'm very, very jealous of.
That I may even start off our little haul.
You're just, what? You're just going to like bust it out right on top, and then they can just like leave and go do something else?
I have other good things.
Okay, how about this, guys? She's going to start it out with something amazing that she found, and I will end the show on something unbelievable that I found today that almost caused us to break up again, because we pretty much now we break up every show, right?
DJ, you've had no luck with Katie's email. She doesn't answer.
I don't know.
My email is down.
Oh no, she's saying. Oh, had no luck. Okay, yeah. Sorry,
she sucks.
I added her email to the list down below because of
Leoman.
What?
Leoman's been missing. MIA for a long time.
Leoman, it's been
a minute.
It's been so long. But you know what, Leoman? I still remember your song. Here's a super chat. Woo, woo, woo. Here's a super chat. Woo, woo, woo. Here's a super chat. Woo, woo, woo.
Ridiculous.
All right, so go ahead.
All right, so this was my one clothing find that Katie would have been jealous of. So I went to one estate sale yesterday, and I found not one, but 2. So this is what they call a coach jacket. So it's like a windbreaker type jacket, and it's a coach jacket, coach style. It's got little drawstring on the bottom. Vintage 70s. It's got a little bit of a big collar.
Yeah, we get it. You found it. It's really cool.
For the FBI.
Yep. The FBI. What?
So the guy worked for the FBI.
So
He was an FBI agent.
And she got 2 of them, you guys.
Not
2.
1, but 2.
2. And she won't even give me one.
Nope.
Like, what's up with that?
Nope.
Freaking rude.
Very rude.
Rudy Judy over here.
Today, I picked up this for about $4.50 because I had 20% off of $5.49.
I believe that's pronounced faux fitty.
Faux fitty.
Mm-hmm.
This is when you're looking for certain tags. Banana Republic has some certain vintage tags where the items sell ridiculously well.
Yeah.
Banana Republic every day is not necessarily a brand you're going to want to pick up. I mean, it's kind of a decent bread and butter, you know, brand, kind of like J. Crew or whatever. But this is a tag you really want to keep an eye out for. Banana Republic, Safari.
Yeah.
Safari travel clothing. This is their vintage tag.
Like they have some really cool, like actual safari style jackets and stuff, like field coats and field jackets that are awesome and sell for a lot. This is really cool.
So this is just like a big, huge wool, like tunic length sweater. I'll probably sell it for $100.
What?
Let's see. I also picked this up today. So this isn't anything fantastic. It's just the price was really good on it. So I paid $3 for it. And this is a vintage 90s Polo Jeans company. So that's a good vintage. It's just a women's cropped sweater.
So there's a little spot on it.
Is there? Probably.
You see it?
Yeah, I see it now.
You get that out.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cute.
And I'll probably sell that for like 40 or so.
Super cute.
Sorry, I was doing that to focus.
Actually, so when we went today, of course, I went to the men's section and I found a bunch of different things, but I found one thing that was really amazing. So I did have to sacrifice some, basically to make sure that she still loved me. I had to sacrifice and give her some of the cool things I found, because there was one thing I was not sharing, which is the last thing I showed today. But this is one of the things that I normally would not have given up, but I was feeling guilty. I was feeling a little guilty, guys.
Got a little Patagonia.
Mm-hmm.
Patagonia, paid whatever, like $9 or so for it. $8 or $9. It's just a windbreaker, but it's got the LinkedIn little symbol on it. It feels new. Feels like it was probably like a giveaway to somebody. It's like a packable raincoat.
It's really nice. Yes, it is Kitty Farrell, or some people say Feral Kitty.
Cat.
Feral cat. Yeah.
So
yeah, Julia says, I loved Banana Republic back in the late 80s when it was all safari clothing. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Regs, yet to find a Patagonia. Yeah, there's some really good Patagonia stuff that sells for a lot. Is it my turn?
Karen, you left that Banana Republic there?
What?
I'm sorry.
Is it my turn?
It's your turn.
All right, I'm gonna talk a little bit about t-shirts. So today when I was at Sabers, I actually did a live video of me just shopping t-shirts.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't save it because that's when I met our new friend Vance. And
Did
so
you
I
upload it directly, or was it just?
No, because you know when you do a live video, it's like after you end the video, then you have to say that you want to like share it, and then it'll be live for the next 24 hours.
So you didn't do anything with it?
Well, no, because I was talking to him. So anyway, whatever. It was literally, I wasn't even talking on it. It was just showing me moving t-shirts. But somebody had asked in the comments, they were like, this is fascinating. How do you decide which ones to keep and which ones to let go? Thrifty Christie. Apparently Thrifty Christie's cat Skittles is sending a $2 super chat. Skittles, what's up? I hope you're a lime Skittle because lime Skittles are my favorite.
I almost named Luna Skittles. My dog was almost named Skittles. Her middle name is Skittles.
I'm gonna have to say that she seems like a Skittles
because she skitters.
She does skitter a lot. She does lots of skittering.
My dog, yeah, that's my dog Luna, and she's Luna Skittles Egan.
That's pretty cute. Do you guys have like either cats or dogs where it's like they get real excited and they go to run and it's almost like they stand still for like the first, like they go and then it catches up to them.
It's like a cartoon.
It's like that's how she is. She like
I call her drag racer.
Yeah, pretty much. Thanks, Thrifty Christie. Anyway, somebody was asking like, how do you decide what to keep and what not to keep? And first of all, I'm always looking for vintage t-shirts. So that's like my number one thing that I'm hoping I'm gonna find. But there are some items that are not vintage. I've talked about this before. Some items that are not vintage that I will keep as well. And so I'll show some of the t-shirts that I found and kind of say like why I might decide to grab something or not grab something. So this first one, I mean, this is just a Gildan t-shirt, and Gildan started in the late 90s, really didn't get, you know, anything you find with the Gildan tag's probably not going to be vintage because it was widely, you know, once it took a couple of years for it to be like widely used as like blank t-shirts that people make t-shirts on. But this one, and plus Monster came out in like, I think 2001. So Monster Energy, this is Supercross racing track crew t-shirt. So I'll usually pick these up because they just do really well. I'll be able to sell this for 25, 30 bucks. So anything that's like motocross and racing type stuff, that's something I'll pick up, and it doesn't need to be vintage. It's a bonus if it is, for sure. So I got that one. This one, hold on, I'm like sitting on this.
Lorna said her cat's middle name is Bitch Face.
Isn't her
she kind of does. She does. She has some serious RBF.
Well, and her cat's like first name is just Kitty, isn't it? So this
She's a beautiful cat. I don't even like cats. She's a beautiful cat.
Again, this is just a Gildan t-shirt, so not vintage. I haven't done any research, so I don't know what it says. It says PPC Racing.
That looks like the
no. Rad Pro Racing. No, Rad Row Racing. I don't know. Anyway,
that looks like
kind of like that Psycho thing.
Yeah, or what's the dog?
I don't know. But anyway, this is like a really awesome, like it's some sort of, it looks like BMX racings. That's not motocross. But that's just like a really cool graphic. So again, anything that's like, it has to do with like BMX racing, motocross, that has like cool graphics, stuff like that, I'll totally pick it up. Plus, this was $2.49, and then I got 20% off of that. So
can't beat it.
Can't beat
it with a stick.
Can't beat it. Another thing that I'll grab is I love finding like promo stuff, like movie promo stuff. And so
didn't you leave that behind like a couple weeks ago and it was still there?
No, I bought it. No, I bought it.
Oh, was that the same one?
Yeah, it's the same one. I don't think I shared this in the haul before.
No, you didn't.
Yeah. So I got this before the accident, so it was just something that I hadn't.
I thought you were talking about, so you got this today. Sorry.
No. I grabbed a couple of things because I didn't have like a ton of stuff I sourced this week. So anyway, this is actually a new with tags. This was some sort of promotional item. This is from the Guillermo del Toro movie, The Shape of Water, that came out last year, and actually didn't it? I think it won some Oscars. It was definitely nominated. Shape of Water. It's a long sleeve shirt. And so I like it, movie promo stuff. And I actually, at the time that I picked this up, because I did pay up for it, it was priced pretty high for a t-shirt. There was one comp that was like 60 bucks it had sold for, and I don't think there's any currently listed for it. So it's just a really cool t-shirt. And Guillermo del Toro, one of my favorite directors.
Big time favorite.
Fan freaking tastic. I love him. I have met him. He's super, super nice, super cool guy. So I'm really excited about that. Let me go ahead to you because I've been talking about t-shirts for a little while now.
All right.
Go ahead.
So this was one, I've got two things here that Katie was a little jealous of that I was able to pick up. This was one, just a vintage. I paid about $3.50. Just a vintage windbreaker. It says
super cool.
AVP. And it's just a really cool, totally 90s.
Well, it must have been some event thing because it's got Miller Lite
as a sponsor, volleyball, pro beach volleyball.
I mean, come on. That is awesome.
Color block 90s. I'll probably sell it for, I don't know, 50.
I wanted to steal it. I'm so mad.
And another one that I picked up is this one, which I've bought this brand before, and actually so has Katie. Super vintage, neon.
Check it out.
Hot dogger.
Like, I had the same jacket. And I sold mine on Etsy. It's funny because I've been watching one on eBay that from another seller, and it has not sold in months. And mine sold relatively quickly on Etsy, I think for like, wasn't it like 70 bucks?
Yeah, I was going to say mine has, it does have a couple of marks on it. Unfortunately, this is so neon bright that you can barely see them, but it does have a couple of marks on it. I did try to clean it. It didn't come out. So I'm probably going to get, I should get about 50 bucks for it anyway, because the neon is so bright, you really can't even see the marks.
Yeah.
So
it's very loud.
I know. Sorry. I paid I paid around $5 for that.
Lady Loves BMC. I don't know anything about a Baby Milo zip up sweat jacket that has monkeys all over it. Sorry. I do not. Does that sound like anything to you? So Rags, when you find an exact listing of something you're researching, do you price it in line with that item or higher? Generally higher. It depends on what it is. Because sometimes there'll be something where I'm like, you know what, they're not charging enough for that. Because I remember when I got that hot dogging jacket, there were a few that were listed. There weren't a lot of them. There were a few that were listed on eBay, and I thought they were like selling them for too low.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know about that. And so I listed it for a lot higher, and I sold it on Etsy. And like I said, there's some that are still sitting there on eBay, so it just depends. But generally, I feel like a lot of times when it comes to like more rare items, vintage stuff, hard to find stuff, people underprice them, and it's like you could have gotten a lot more for that. But it's a tricky game to play because sometimes you price it too high, and it's just going to sit there forever. So yeah, play around with it.
Lady loves BMC. I'm not familiar with the brand Baby Milo. I've never heard of it, so I don't know.
Sorry.
Another brand that I pick up. This is one that people should look out for when you find it. This brand.
Oh, Bathing Ape.
Oh, Bathing Ape.
They said baby. I'm like, I don't know what that is. Yeah, Bathing Ape.
She said Baby Milo. Okay, Bathing Ape.
Bathing Ape, also called Bape. It is a super sought after street brand, kind of like Supreme. It's up there, you know, people who buy Supreme and Bathing Ape. The thing about Bape stuff is it's very, very faked. Like there's a lot. If you find it,
Juliana said that.
Yeah, if you find it, you really want to make sure that you have a legit. You want to authenticate it. There's some different Facebook groups out there that are people who are much more knowledgeable when it comes to streetwear. There's ones that are just for Bathing Ape stuff. Because it is more often than not, if you find it in a thrift store, it's going to be fake. So just saying.
Okay, so what I was saying is there's this brand. It's vintage. They sell a lot of track jackets and track suits. You're going to look for this like big T on here. This is a velour track suit. This is early 80s. The brand is called Sergio Tacchini. I'm not sure exactly.
It's so luxurious.
Yeah, it's like a zip up velour track jacket. I paid about $7 for it. I'll probably sell it for about 50 or 60, maybe more. I haven't looked up the brand in a while, but I have sold it in the past.
Yeah, waste not, want not. That's Mo.
Yeah,
that's Mo.
That's Mo.
It says I will pay a higher price for a better listed item, better photos, better description, better seller rating and feedback. Absolutely, and that's the thing, especially when it comes to higher priced items like this, like more collectible streetwear and stuff like that I sell. I really feel like, you know, a lot of those impulse buys that people make, it's because they're looking at something, they're like, oh, that looks really good. I can see myself wearing that. It's a really cool jacket or whatever. And there's a lot of things that are going to feed into like why they might choose to pick mine over somebody else's. And part of it might be that I have free shipping, free returns. There's a lot of different stuff. So, yep. Oh, it's so cute.
I just wanted to show. Sometimes I buy things for myself. I bought this cute little FAO Schwartz peacock. You don't find stuffed peacocks very often, just so you know. I love
real
peacocks.
Cute.
I paid $3 for him. He's going to go inside my, I have a big, huge bird cage.
Allison, what? Allison said, I just found $150, I don't know what a brailer bag is. She says it's for commercial fishing on the beach. It's ridiculous. Now she's just like picking stuff up for free.
Just, I mean, she
laughing all the way to the bank.
5 cents for everything else. She actually got it. Now she's down to getting shit for free.
Yeah. Outrageous.
Listen.
Outrageous. Anyway, is it my turn again?
Yes.
All right. So back to some more t-shirts. Now I want to talk about another thing that I'll buy t-shirts for, like when it comes to whether it's vintage or not vintage, whatever, has to do with like the subject matter, like what's on it. So like this shirt I got, I think I haven't listed this yet. I think it's a cool t-shirt. It's like this particular one, it says Virgo, but then it has all of the astrological signs on it. So I just think it's a really cool graphic. And this one actually is vintage.
Crispy.
It is crispy. It is crispy. And also
it may be new without tags.
I don't know about that. I won't say new without tags for this one. But this particular one has a tag that I don't show a lot. I don't find a lot of these ones vintage, but it's Delta, made in the USA. So this is a 90s t-shirt, single stitch. Actually, it might be. It's got a little tag on it. So it could, I guess it could. Yeah. Anyway,
she doesn't listen to me.
So again, it's just because it's vintage, just because it's single stitch doesn't mean it has some sort of inherent value. But I think this is a really cool looking t-shirt, and there are people who are crazy about their astrological signs and whatnot. So I think I can sell this for like $30 probably.
So we got 170 people watching right now, and only a few thumbs up. I know. What?
I don't know what's going on.
Are you having a seizure?
Some sailor is going to be pissed. Some fisherman's going to be real pissed. Real pissed.
Ooh, DJ sold a mid-century dresser on offer up for $300, paid $5
That is awesome.
That's a turn and burn flip right there.
What was that? Turn and burn. We're going to turn and burn it. I bought this sucker for $5. Give me $300. Get turn and burn. Now, could you tuck and roll that?
No.
Probably not. Okay. Next thing I'm going to talk about is the Mountain. Now, if you've ever seen the Mountain t-shirts, first of all, there's a billion of them out there. If you go do a search on eBay, there's a ton of them. They're not priced super high. You're going to find them all the time. They have like this kind of signature look where they're like tie-dyed. But the thing is, they've been around for a long time. And again, it comes down to the subject matter, and the ones that are vintage do go for a little bit more. And I've sold ones that other people are selling for 15. I'll sell them for 30. So it just depends. But both the ones I'm going to show you are actually vintage ones made in the US. And they're really, really super cool. This one, I've never seen one quite like this one. So I thought it was really neat. This one's not listed yet. I haven't gotten pictures done of this one yet. Or maybe this one I actually did. I just did pictures.
It's a little geisha girl.
This one's super cool. It's like, I'm not really sure what's going on here. It's like a geisha woman, but then it's also got kind of like an Art Deco style to it. It's very, very interesting. It's dated like what, 96, I think it says on there.
I don't know. I can't.
It's right here where the artist signature.
Oh, maybe you can find the artist. That might
right
make
there,
a difference.
96. But I think, when it comes to
it's like a geisha girl that looks like a building.
Yeah, it's like a geisha girl, but then it's like
abstract.
It's not like that super kind of like Art Deco kind of style.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's really cool. Yeah, the Mountain t-shirts, they're really good quality t-shirts that last for a long time. Jennifer says
they're kind of like the Champion shirts, like Champion sweatshirts. Mountain t. They're like super thick and very nice quality.
Yeah. Now again, there's tons of them out there, and a lot of them aren't really worth anything. But I will pick them up when they have something really cool on them, and especially the ones that are actually vintage. Yeah, Deborah, she's like a skyscraper.
Yeah, that's what I think. It looks like
it's
abstract
really cool.
buildings. I don't know.
Really, really cool. Okay, and then I have another one. This one is also vintage, also made in the US. This is a very, very cool one. And this one is like,
it's like
kind of native.
Palomino ponies or something.
Yeah, so we've got a few things going for us here. It's kind of like Native American. It's got horses. Now there's people who are obsessed with horses. There's people who really like anything. I mean, I sell Native American themed t-shirts all the time. They're super popular. They've got the whole tie-dye thing going on, which is super popular right now. So all these things add together to mean that this shirt's probably going to sell for $30. But again, not all Mountain stuff. There's lots of it out there. If you go look at it on eBay and look at
you can buy brand new for like $15.
Yeah, a lot of them.
The newer stuff.
So it just depends.
But it is a brand. I've sold every single Mountain t-shirt I've ever picked up.
Yeah. Last t-shirt I have, again, now this one's more about the theme. This is made in the US. This is the 90s. But this t-shirt's super cool. This is Planetary Moons. So again, thematically, this is like space stuff, sciencey, nerdy stuff. And then I think it's even
1995 Liberty Graphics.
Yeah, but even cooler is the back, because the back has a lot more information. It's got like all the different names of the moons, and then you can see it has this cool thing on the bottom where it shows like the relative scale of the moons next to each other, like the sizes.
Is this when Pluto was still a planet?
Probably, yeah, because that was like, yes, we still considered Pluto a planet at the time.
Jennifer wants to see the tag on the Mountain tee, please.
Okay, well, there's two different ones, and actually they're both different.
Lori, I think the Mountain t-shirts are all men's cut. I haven't seen any that are women's cut.
I've never seen women's.
They're fairly unisex, I mean, as far as topic and things like that, but I think they're all
yeah. So here's one of the tags. And their tags are like almost like this it's almost like a paper, really cool kind of paper tag, almost paper like leather kind of tag. Like that. And then the other one looks a little bit different.
And the Space Nerds Moon Tee, Key Lime Kisses, is a men's extra large.
Yeah. So this one, and now the current Mountain ones are actually printed right on the shirt. Because they're newer ones. Anyway, that's it for my t-shirts.
Yeah.
Next for you.
Okay, so I picked this up. Again, you know I love my vintage. I talk about vintage a lot. I love vintage nightgowns and house coats and all that kind of stuff. I picked this one up. It's got a little bit of schmutz on it. I'm going to wash it. But I picked up this quilted house coat for $1. It is lace trimmed. It is made by Sears. I believe it's 1960s-ish. Yes, definitely 60s. Maybe early 60s even. It's just a satin quilted house coat. I will probably sell this for about 60 or 75 bucks.
Yeah.
As long as that spot comes out, and it probably should. Most nylon, polyester, things like that, very easy fabric to treat. Everything comes out.
Yeah, yeah, Lori, it is the Mountain, not just Mountain, the Mountain. And also they do lots of the newer ones. They do lots of animal ones. Like there's lots of funny cat ones. I think my
your Top Cat one is
my Top Gun Top Cat t-shirt I haven't worn in a while. I think that one's a Mountain one. So yeah, and also Thrift Writer says Apollo's 50th anniversary is coming up, so space stuff may sell well soon. Yeah, I mean, my space stuff always sells really well. So again, nerd stuff, geek stuff, thematically, nerds, all that stuff sells really well. So
where do I sell my vintage nightwear? Grandma's Wrinkle. I like that name, Grandma Wrinkles. That's really cute. I sell everything that is vintage on both eBay and Etsy. I tend to get a lot more money for my stuff on Etsy. So it'll definitely be cross-posted on both. Let's see.
Mo wants to know what you treat stains with.
Right now I use Grandma's Secret. Speaking of Grandma Wrinkles, Grandma's Secret, it's a little spray stuff. It's you can get it on Amazon, eBay, whatever. I don't know if they sell it in your local stores, but I can't remember who shared it with me, but it was someone in one of our groups I learned about a couple of years ago. It works really, really well.
Yeah, it depends on the kind of stain though. Like sometimes like if there's yellow stains,
right, you want to use OxyClean.
Like sometimes you got to soak it in like an OxyClean for like a day, even. Just depends, but depends on what it is.
Okay, Melissa says Walmart has Grandma's Secret. They may. I buy so much stuff online, so I don't know.
Yeah, they have it at most grocery stores. Okay,
so I have a vintage Eddie Bauer, not super vintage, but like probably late 90s, mid to late 90s.
Why do you say this? Think this one is vintage?
Based on this tag on the inside here.
Oh, okay.
So it is a premium goose down.
Yeah, Eddie Bauer goose down is going to sell.
Sells well,
especially Eddie Bauer.
Premium goose down. It's a woman's black full length jacket or coat, I should say. I paid $10 for it. I think I'm going to get a little over $100 for it.
Yeah.
So it's not super old vintage. It's like a cusper vintage.
Yeah.
How many more things do you have to show?
I have quite a few. Do you have a lot?
Quite a few? Okay. I only have 3.
Oh, okay. So you want me to go next? Jody, most you've made on a single hat sale. For me, I had a Bulls 3-peat hat, kind of like those ones that Vicky showed last week's haul, that I found at the bins that was brand new. And I'm pretty sure I sold it for $150. So that's probably my best sale. So I got it at the bins, which means I probably paid less than 50 cents for it because it was, I mean, a hat before you put it up. I can put a hat in a box and send it under 8 ounces. So like I paid less than 50 cents for it.
And what'd you sell it for?
Like 150.
I can't remember what the highest priced hat was. It may be the Masters hat that I sold recently. It's a Augusta Masters vintage golf hat that I sold for, I think, $85. And I paid $1 at an estate sale. That might have been, I may have sold one for more. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think I just sold one for $80 last week. That was the Australian wool hat.
All right, we're going to talk sweatshirts now. So I do kind of probably my top 3 favorite things to thrift and sell are jackets, t-shirts, and sweatshirts. Those are the things I like to do. So I want to talk about this one. So this is Wisconsin Badgers. This is a vintage 90s sweatshirt. Now the reason I wanted to talk about this one is made in the US. This has like the paper tag and it looks like, I don't even think this has been washed before. This is pretty new, pretty crispy. But the reason I want to talk about this is because the brand on it is Lee Sport. Now Lee Sport was it like a Kmart brand?
Yeah, I think
it was like a Kmart brand.
At Kmart.
They still sell. So I've talked to like people who sell like menswear and like streetwear and like sports stuff, and people will say like, Lee Sport, like don't pick that up. Don't pick it up. It's really soft.
It depends on what the graphics.
It depends on what the graphics are. Now, yes, granted, there are certain brands like Starter. Now, Starter now is a Walmart brand, so it doesn't really have much value, but the vintage stuff does. It's like, you know, Starter jackets, Starter sweatshirts, t-shirts can sell for a lot. But people kind of, I think, discount Lee's Sport because they just assume it's not going to be of great value. But seriously, it really comes down to what it looks like. This is a really cool sweatshirt. It's like, I'll get it close here. It's all embroidered, so it's just really nice. I'm gonna pick this up. I'm gonna pay $3, $5, $6 for it, and definitely sell this for like 35. So just because, you know, you hear that like a certain brand doesn't have value, meh, I disagree. When it comes to this, it just depends on what it looks like. And this is a really nice sweatshirt.
As far as is Etsy difficult to sell on, if you understand how to sell on eBay, I think Etsy is easier.
Yeah, there are some differences. And so if you are like all in with eBay and you've been doing eBay for a while, there are some things where you're going to be a little bit confused. Like when you're setting up like your shipping stuff at first, like you're
putting in your keywords. You have to put, you know, you have to choose whether it was something that was made by someone else or if it's something that's handmade. That's not, you know, there are certain things you have to tick off in categories that you don't need to do on eBay, but it is honestly very self-explanatory.
I love that there's keywords. I wish they had that.
I think
on
some
eBay.
of it for yeah, I agree. Something that they use is, you know, you're able to put in keywords for people to find your item based on a category, maybe. That you don't have to keyword spam an entire title with a bunch of words like you do on eBay. eBay, you put a lot of keywords in the title if it fits to make it work.
So Deborah Anderson, I think she said that she goes by Deb as well. Deb says, wants to know what I think buyers search for to find my vintage t-shirts. You know, I always try to think, I mean, when it's like a sports t-shirt or something like that, obviously, you know, that's super easy. It's just, you know, you want to have like your team name and stuff like that. I try to like say what decade it's from. So I'll say vintage 90s or vintage 80s or whatever. If it's something that, you know, I really just, everybody should be doing this when you're listing. You really want to think about like, what are the keywords that somebody might use to search for that thing? And so like for the planets thing, I'm going to think of like space, you know, NASA. Well, I guess you can't say NASA for that.
Galaxy.
But like for in Etsy, I'll put NASA in the keywords, in the tag, whatever. But yeah, galaxy, planets, moons, solar system, stuff like that. Like, you know, you want to make sure if you can't fit it in your title, even though eBay doesn't have like the little keyword tags, you can add stuff to your description, because when somebody does a search, it searches descriptions as well.
It won't come up top if it's, you know, not in the title, but you'll be there somewhere.
No, but you try to figure out like what are the most important keywords, but then it's like you don't have enough room, add that stuff in down at the bottom if you want to like make sure that you get that stuff in there.
There's a YouTube video. I'm not sure if it's a free video or not. I have to check. But Kathy Terrell happens to have a Facebook group called, just a couple of different Facebook groups on eBay selling. And one of her videos that she has is called, it's like a keyword builder video. And it is honestly, for people that are new to eBay or new to Etsy, it is a very good informational video teaching you how to build a title with using specific keywords. That's something that I think a lot of people have difficulty grasping.
And I think,
because I see some really bad titles out there.
I will say, I think eBay is one of the best when it comes to searches. I think it does a really good job of, you know, like certain, you know, there's certain words where some people spell it as 2 words or as 1 word, or like if it's plural, but then some people will leave an S off the end.
Or if there's a dash.
Yeah. So eBay is really good at kind of catching all of those and making sure they come back. But let me tell you, if you leave a word out, it can get you in trouble, because like somebody had sent me on Instagram like just a screenshot of a Friday what was it? Was it Friday the 13th? I think it was Friday the 13th t-shirt. And they were like, oh, this looks like something you would be interested in. And I was like, oh, I want to go. I wasn't going to buy it, but I just was curious about the listing. So I went and did a search Friday the 13th. And I didn't see it anywhere for the price point that was on there. And I'm like, why am I not seeing it? And I realized that in their title, they just put Friday 13th because they wanted to put, I guess, other keywords.
Made a difference.
There was no and there was no in the description either. And so, because when I did just Friday 13th, it came up, and I actually messaged that seller and I said, hey, just a heads up from one seller to another. I just want you to know that when somebody searches Friday the 13th, your t-shirt, and it was a vintage t-shirt they were selling for like over $100. I'm like, it's not even showing up in the search, and that's not good. So they went ahead and changed it because of that. So
hi, Rita. Rita joined us.
Hey.
Let's see. Joan has a question. Just curious, how many listings you both have up on eBay? So I have just about 2,500 listings on eBay and 700 on Etsy. Everything on Etsy is cross-posted from eBay.
I have just over 1,700 listings right now. my goal is to hit over 1,800 by the end of the day on Thursday. And then on Etsy, I have over 650, I think. So waste not when
I surpassed you on Etsy.
Well, yeah, because you've got Dana over there busting them out for you.
Sure.
Mo wants to know if anyone's noticed that the eBay app is autofilling the title into the description box. Happened twice today. I don't list on.
I don't use the app, so
I don't use the app. But so yeah, I haven't noticed that. But anyway, I got a couple more sweatshirts here.
I did notice that it was taking a bunch of my listings and duplicating them as drafts. I did notice that the last few days. That's a pain in the neck because I don't use drafts either.
Yeah. eBay keeps telling us not to use it depends. The problem with it depends on what it is that the thing is that people are going to be searching for. When it comes to the Friday the 13th, I mean, that's literally the name of a movie. And nobody, for the most part, remember, you got to get in the head of the person searching for that item. If somebody's searching for a Friday the 13th t-shirt, they're going to type they just are. So in that case, it is important. So you just need to think about for each particular thing, what's going to matter and what's not going to matter. So, all right. So this is another sweatshirt that I just found this week. I think it's super cool. This is from 1991, Buffalo Bills. We're not on the East Coast, so I don't usually find a lot of Buffalo Bills stuff here. This is, I don't know this guy, Jim Kelly. But this is an awesome 1991 vintage sweatshirt. What's going on? Are you yawning? Am I boring you?
No, I'm hitting I'm hitting that afternoon. I need a nap.
Am I boring you? Rude. Anyway, I think this is a really cool football sweatshirt. So haven't done any research. I don't know who Jim Kelly is. I don't know how many people like him. I have no idea how popular his stuff is on the old eBay, but I love it.
So a question from both Sharon and Karen, which is pretty much the same question. Do we use a cross-listing app? There is no app. As of right now, there is no app that cross-posts from eBay to Etsy or vice versa. It does not exist. It actually would be nice. I'm hoping someone is developing it. There have been a few people that have been talking about developing it, but there is not one that exists yet. I believe there is a service that is being worked on, a couple of different companies. I know Sellhound is one working on something that it's a pay-for service to do cross-posting. But there's nothing that exists yet for free. And I'm not sure that the Sellhound one is even completely out of development yet.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
So Cheryl says that he is a famous football star. And Thrifty Adventure says he's a good player for sure. Yeah, I just don't know anything about him, and I don't know. You know how there's those certain players that are just beloved by fans. So it's going to have something to do with whether or not it's the collectability of something like that. So
Dust and Defunk vintage dead stock shirts with tags still on them. I would
so they're not dirty, but they're just kind of musty or something? Is that what the deal is?
I would say I would probably take a couple of dryer sheets and maybe get them a little bit damp and put it in the dryer on low heat for a few minutes just to
now that I do
juggle around, because you want to take the tags off and you won't melt the tags or hurt the tags.
So I prep my t-shirts differently now. I spritz them all with the de-wrinkler stuff, which I have way watered down, so I don't want it to smell too strongly. I spritz my t-shirts and I put them in the dryer for a few minutes.
You've done that with
I've done that with dead tag stuff because it doesn't hurt them. They're not in there for very long, and that should freshen up the smell a little bit
and shake off the dust a little.
Yeah. So
if they're dirty, they're dirty. You can either sell them and say that they're new dead stock and they're shelf worn, or there's a little bit of soil due to shelf wear or something like that, or storage.
Yeah.
And I've done that too to disclose it. But you can tell by looking at something that, that it just needs to be washed. It's going to come out. Or you can just wash them and say it,
Vic's Village, what happens if you sell an item on eBay and Etsy when you cross post? Well, okay. So first of all, when it comes to cross posting, you need to be somebody who's on top of things at all times. So you can't be, you got to pay attention to the different platforms that you're working on. And we only sell on 2 platforms each. And so it's not unmanageable to do it with just 2 platforms. Now, if you're trying to cross post across 5 different platforms, I'm sure that could get confusing really, really fast. But bottom line is, for the most part, you can catch it. The second you sell one-on-one, you go and you take it down from the other one. Now, occasionally,
you can use it on your phone.
Things are going to fall through the cracks. maybe for some reason somebody, you just maybe it's like while you're sleeping, the 8 hours you're asleep, it sells on both platforms.
I've never had that happen,
but people have it happen. And bottom line is you just got to decide which one are you going to cancel. And the reality is that eBay has real consequences. If you cancel an item on eBay, it does count against you. You do it too many times, you're going to get in trouble. You could lose your account if you cancel all the time. So you really, really have to be careful to not cancel stuff on eBay. Etsy, on the other hand, as far as I know,
there are no ramifications yet.
I mean, I don't know if you were constantly doing it, maybe an issue would come up.
I've done it twice,
but I've had to do it a few times, and they don't have any set rules against it. So
I just apologize profusely and offer them a discount on something else in the store and say that this item sold on another platform. I apologize.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has happened to me twice, and it's not that it has happened simultaneously. It's that I sold it on eBay like a month ago and forgot to take it down off of Etsy. That's, so if you're not somebody that can stay on top of that, then cross-posting is not for you.
Yeah. Sharon, the de-wrinkle spray, there's really only one brand name one, and that is Downy, right?
Yeah.
It's Downy.
Downy Wrinkle Release.
And it's kind of expensive, and it's pretty much the only thing out there as far as branded stuff goes. And it's like $7-something for a bottle of it, but it does work really well, and you can water it way down and make it last. But they do have one at the dollar store, the Dollar Tree. It's $1. Big surprise. Now that stuff, the smell is not as pleasant. It's pretty strong. But I water it way, way down, and it works fine. I use that and it works fine. So anyway, all right, you want to go ahead?
Yeah.
Share a couple things. How many do you have left?
3.
Okay.
So I got to stand up for this one. Sorry, guys. So Cheryl will probably appreciate this, but I talk about these things a lot. I do talk about vintage blankets and things like that. And I picked this one up just today. It's a vintage San Marcos blanket. And it's just like a Western one.
That's a good one, though.
It's a good one. There's only one listed right now, and they have it listed for $125.
Again, talking about themes.
Plus shipping.
Cowboy stuff sells.
Yep. They have it listed for $125 plus shipping, and it's and it has a hole in it. So
the other one's listed?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I'm going to get that much for it. I think that's an ambitious price.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one that has sold a couple of times for $30. So I don't know why the guy keeps selling it, the same one for $30, but otherwise it's not a popular one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll probably sell it for like $75, maybe. I paid $6 for it.
That's a lot of exclamation points, Cheryl.
Seriously. Okay, so this is a pair of sneakers that actually a friend of mine picked up. My friend Wendy and Keith picked up for me last weekend. These are not vintage. They're 2003 Nikes, and they're not in, like, they're dirty around the white part.
Clean that up.
Yeah, already photographed and listed. I don't care that much. But these are 2003, and they're an LA Clippers colorway. So that's what they're supposed to be, like these vintage look.
They're like retro.
Nikes, retro, yeah. But they do sell for about $65. I didn't pay anything for them. They paid $15 for them, I believe, and I traded her a pair of boots.
Yeah.
How do I know that blanket is vintage? The San Marcos blanket. San Marcos blankets are 95% of the time they are vintage.
Mm-hmm.
Beater lack blankets, they still make them. So those are not always going to be vintage.
Yeah.
And
my
last thing, I love selling like small appliances and stuff like that. The boxes are a pain in the neck. Shipping is kind of a pain in the neck, but I paid $7 and I bought this. We're not keeping it. It's a dehydrator. It's a Nesco dehydrator.
Hot diggity dog! It's a Jerky Express, y'all!
And it's complete. It's really clean. It may actually be unused. I haven't unpacked it all the way to check, but it's definitely like really clean.
Mm-hmm.
I paid $7 and I will probably sell it for about $50.
Yeah. Dream Big wants to know, how do you remove Sharpie from plastic? Somebody put their initials on some boxing gloves. So hopefully maybe some people in the chat will have some suggestions for you. Cause I don't know. Cause most of the time when there's Sharpie on stuff, I just sell it. I just show the picture of it, but I don't bother trying to get it off. Oh, Jennifer says St. Marcus
see,
blankets
Jennifer looked it up. Thank you.
produced from 1976 to 2004. So yeah, there's only a 5-year period, basically from between 99 and 2004 that wouldn't technically be the 20 years or older vintage. So there you go.
Heather, I've been writing everything down in a book about each item that I photographed to list. Then if it sells, I have to find the book and mark it sold. Please tell me if there's an app.
Well, why do you have to mark it sold?
I don't know why you're marking it sold. I don't know why you're writing everything down. It seems like you're creating busy work for yourself. I'm not sure.
I mean, if you have stuff, I mean, okay, granted, there are issues with like eBay where some site, stuff will fall off and you'll realize that something that you had listed is no longer listed. But generally, it's like all the stuff you have listed is the stuff that you have. And when it sells, it comes up as sold and it's no longer listed. But you do need to do like an inventory. You should be doing an inventory, maybe like once a year or whatever, to make sure, because you're going to end up probably any given time. I probably have a handful of items out in my inventory that aren't listed anymore.
So I don't sell it twice. I'm not.
Why would you sell it twice though?
Once something is
listed, why would it's not live anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm not understanding your question, I think. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because you have it listed, and then once it sells, so it shouldn't be up there anymore.
It shows it's sold, so there's no.
I don't know, guys. All right, so it's down to me, huh?
Down to you. I'm done. That's all I got.
Okay, I'm just gonna show. I had a few things, but I'm just gonna show 2 items. My most exciting things. So both of these are pretty cool. So this one, I actually did a live video a few days ago on Instagram, and I think I mentioned this because it was hanging in the background. But
we're at the hour and 36-minute mark.
I only have 2 items.
Okay.
So I should only need roughly 10 minutes for each item. So I don't know what your problem is.
Although for some reason we have 188 people watching now. So we gained about 15 people in the last 10 minutes.
What? Well, because you know what? They heard that I was showing the sweet, sweet stuff at the end of this video. So they had to rush on in.
That must be what it is.
They had to rush on in. All right. So I got a couple of things here, guys. So this I got, again, I can't remember like where we went. It's like we went to, was it
Decatur?
Yeah. Maybe we were just out. I don't remember.
I don't know.
Oh, because we went to the doctors. That's why.
Oh,
it was on Thursday. We went to the doctors, and afterwards I was like, maybe we should go do a little Sabers visit. I don't know what you think about that. And she was like, okay, I think we should do it.
And you became Groucho Marx?
Yes. Keelam Kisses is thumb shaming people. Anyway, guys, check it out. Check it out. I got me a sweet vintage 90s Stussy sweatshirt. This thing, it's worn, it's faded, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. I love it. It's gorgeous. I love it. This is made in the US. This is probably like late 90s. You can see right here, a little Stussy tag. This is made in the US. This is like their old vintage tag. The tags look different now. So it's got the tag there, and then they also have a tag on the inside right here that helps with authenticating it. But the last Stussy sweatshirt I got, which was a hideous, ugly one that didn't even have Stussy anywhere on the outside other than on a tiny little tag on the side of it. I sold that sucker for like, it was like 150 or 200. No, it was like $250. And I bought it for just a few bucks. This one, I mean, I should be able to, it's a smaller size. I should be able to sell it for at least $100 though. This thing.
I don't know. You got $250 for the last one. I think you're aiming low.
But the last one was it was a special little sweatshirt. It was real. It was special. It was special. This one though, definitely. I mean, I need to do some research and see if any similar ones have sold. I can see what the comps are if there are any. But at the very least, $100, maybe $150. I don't know.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice.
I love it. I love me some. I love vintage Stussy stuff. So very, very cool. Very cool. All right. Are you guys ready for the grand finale? The grand finale, as it were.
The pièce de résistance. Michael Jackson, creepy glove.
So
I like the bandages better than the glove.
So we went to Sabers today. She was trying to go without me. I came along. We went to go into the store, and she was like, I'm going to be pissed at you. I'm going to be real mad if you find anything amazing. which is why I had to give her a bunch of the stuff, including the Patagonia jacket, because I did find one thing, guys. I found one thing. The heavens opened up and the sunshine came down and shone upon me from baby Jesus himself. And he said, Katie, I want you to have this. And I said, okay, I will. And this is what I found. I'm pretty excited
Didn't
about it.
you sell something similar?
No, not this. Not this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. This thing, it's all about the jazz hands. That's how good it is. It's like the jazz hands. Okay. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, before you even see anything, it's a sweet, look at the sweet leather. Look at that. Look at that fringe. Look at that fringe on that. It's fringy. It's fringy.
I do wish I still had my fringe jackets.
Are you guys ready for this leather fringe right now? Are you guys ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? This is the big reveal. This is the Cure. The Cure, mofos. Look at this. Look at the back. The Cure. The Cure leather fringe-tastic leather jacket. It's amazing. I don't really know. I paid, it was $25. And I got 20 at a 20% off coupon. Yeah, Key Lime Kissa says, oh my God. Ugh. Ugh. Okay, so so anyone who does not know, The Cure is a band that's been around since, I don't know, like early 80s, probably.
I think early 80s.
Early 80s. Now, here's the thing about The Cure. Fanatical, obsessed, crazy fans.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking, I've known multiple people who travel around the country, around the world. It's kind of like, you know, how Grateful Dead has people who like will follow them shows.
Mm-hmm.
The Cure is one of those bands that people are nuts about. Absolutely nuts about.
Karen says, I don't understand how y'all find these awesome buys. I don't get it. It has to be God. I don't know about that.
I told you, baby Jesus shone down upon me and said, listen, you've had a rough month. You've had a rough few weeks. And now I'm going to give you something. Guys, the freaking Cure. Now, I don't know when this jacket is from. It is sized, it's a size of 50.
I think it's 80s, 90s.
I think it might be 80s. Here's the thing. Like I went and looked on WorthPoint, and I looked because I couldn't find any jackets that looked like this. But I went on WorthPoint and looked at T-shirts, and there were some T-shirts from the 80s that have the same font in their name. Mm-hmm. There was one from like 1984 or something like that, and that T-shirt sold for like $350. It was like one of their T-shirts from their shows. So there was some stuff from earlier 80s that had a different font. So this particular font, I believe, was from the 80s, but yeah, Key Lime Kissa says I would put 500 smackers on that.
Thrifty Kitty said you just started a tidal wave of black eyeliner tears of joy.
I know, man.
Fans
What's his name?
Over.
What's his name? Is it something Robert Smith? Is that what his name is?
I don't
something
know.
Smith.
I'm not a
lead singer.
fan.
So he had like, you know, his like Edward Scissorhands hair,
mm-hmm.
Tim Burton hair, and like the eyeliner and stuff. I don't know if you guys have seen him lately. Let's just say
he did not age well.
Well, there's a time when maybe you should stop with the eyeliner and the hair and stuff, and at some point and be like, okay, maybe I need to.
Allison said, I'm confident baby Jesus would buy that jacket.
Like, how beautiful is this? Like fringed out leather. I mean, gorgeous.
It would have been mine because I was going to be shopping alone. She's going to get the guilt. Sorry.
No, but that's why I gave her a Patagonia jacket. Because that Patagonia jacket, I mean, we didn't look it up yet, but you might be able to sell it for like $100 or something.
Yeah, it's a good windbreaker, but
it's a nice. It's not a windbreaker. It's like a rain jacket.
Okay.
It's a good jacket. She'll get good money for it, and I gave her a few other things. So I did try to like buy her.
She paid $20 for it.
It says size 50. So it says size 50. It was $25, so I got 20% off of that. So I paid about $20 for it.
Size 50 men's, so that's like a large.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a men's large.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Woo, 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 woo. So I am stoked about that. Yeah, that's all I can say. That makes me feel a lot better about the fact that I've had a whole week of real bad sales. Because I'm the DJ just Googled them. Those guys look look freaky, super freak.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I love me some Cure though. I do love. I'm not a crazy fan.
Oh, Sherry Gall might need it. She said Sherry needs that, and it will fit. Oh no, Sherry, I don't know.
Sorry, I don't think I'm not going to let you like take out another line of credit to be able to purchase from me, and that's not something I'm giving away. So. Anyway, guys, comps on jacket are $45. Okay.
Not on that jacket.
Tell me where you saw that exact same jacket somewhere. Because if you're just looking at like the Cure jackets in general, that doesn't really mean anything. If you find that exact same jacket and someone sold it for 45, they sold it for too low. And I doubt there's multiples out there. So
no, I think that's a jacket that someone took the patches and put it on their vintage jacket. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
Key Lime Kisses says she's a Cray Cray fan.
There you go.
Throwback. Just kidding. Thought so. We do kind of know our stuff.
Anyway, guys, that's it for today's show. I think we delivered today. I feel like we did. I feel like we did. I feel like we made it happen. 96 people think we did.
Oh, no.
I don't know what
one does not. One does not.
Yeah, one is like
so far. One's like, nope, I hate the Cure. Screw you.
Yeah. Or they were just like going all sour grapes on it, and they're wishing they had the Cure.
That's true.
Like you. So anyway, what's up, Sherry Turner in Oklahoma? Oh,
stop.
on the plains.
Oi.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. As usual, we had a ton of fun. Next Sunday, our show is it's gonna be next Sunday is Super Bowl Sunday. Should we have our show at a different time? I don't know. I don't know if I really care. We're not gonna be watching the Super Bowl.
Speak for yourself. The Patriots are playing.
Well, apparently she's gonna be like watching the Super Bowl. Okay, good luck with that.
I am a New Englander. I only watch Super Bowl games when the Patriots are in, which means I watch every year.
Yeah, let me know if if you guys watch this after it's been live. Say down in the comments below if you really think that we should have it at a different time. If you're somebody who actually watches it live, because it's like a couple hundred people watch it live, but then 1,500 people watch it after the fact. So it's whatever. It doesn't really matter that much. But let me know. So flip your phone up to get the right thumb. Funny. Anyway, guys, we'll see you on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly what we're doing for Wednesday's show. Maybe I don't know.
I think we might do a store review on Wednesday.
We might. We do have some other stuff that we need to get to as well, though. But we'll talk off the air.
And hopefully, if you live in the Las Vegas area, we will see you Tuesday night at our meetup.
Yes, Tuesday night at our meetup. If you don't know the details of that, you're not in the Facebook group for the meetup, get in touch with us. Get in touch with her. Her email is down below. lvpinkpanther.
Email me, not Katie.
Yeah,
she sucks.
All right, thank you guys so much, and we will see you later. I better get to listing because I have 111 items that I have committed myself to listing by the end of Thursday.
I'm out of photos, so I'm gonna
She's gotta go take some pictures. But first, I'm gonna go have me some cheese. Okay.
Okay. I'm sick of cheese.
I am not.
I said it.
I'm not sick of cheese. I'm gonna go eat some cheese. I got some cheese, got some meats down there, and I'm gonna eat all that. Maybe have some Triscuits with it. Are there still Triscuits left? Mm-hmm. There better be.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. You don't want to have some Triscuits and some meat and cheese?